Hi, collective. Okay, you guys, this is the collective message and reading that I've channeled for you guys for the second week of March. It is good for all 12 zodiac signs. It appears that this is the message that all of you are going through the most collectively, but it's not going to resonate with all of you. I like to do the collective readings because it shows me what every zodiac sign might be experiencing the most together above all other things. It is timestamped for the second week of March 2021, but it could be timeless whenever you're finding it. It might be something that you needed to hear. If you guys want to book a private reading with me, the link to my website is down in the description below. All 12 zodiac signs will be finished by tomorrow. I think I just have Sagittarius and Scorpio left. All right, let's get into it. This was interesting. I think that it's about a cycle that's complete. And I think maybe you just circled back around to it and your guides wanted to give you some information and insight about this other person in your energy and maybe the lessons you were meant to learn from it in a more spiritual way. I will talk about the spiritual essence of this contract between you and this person when I go through the tarot, because it really came out strongly in the oracle cards. But I will touch on them briefly first. Wisdom, mysticism, and impartiality. So this definitely affected your heart chakra. This relationship was part of a learning experience for you. You have gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge here on Earth, in particular about emotional intelligence. I also think that this affected you on a more spiritual level because the purple chakra is your top chakra. I think that there was something very mystical for you. I think you went on a bit of a mystical journey. And the gray chakra is, this is the gray cards in this deck are about universal consciousness. I think one of the major lessons you learned in a universal sense is to be impartial. There is an impartiality at this point, balancing a fairness. Some of you have been connecting to a Virgo. Some of you have been connecting to a Scorpio, a Libra, a Sagittarius, perhaps. I think something did trigger you. Mirror, who or what is triggering you? I think you've seen something that triggers you. But Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, this is an interesting card. I had to think about it a little bit. Seeding the light, laying a foundation, a divine plan. This relationship was part of a greater divine plan to help you grow as a person. I'll talk about that more at the end. You have broken a chain, break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. I think that this is a relationship that played out for you guys. I think for a lot of you it's over, but your guides are touching on maybe why you came across it, why it triggered you again, and to help you get some insight on how to be more impartial and to show you how wise you've become because of it. So the reason for the reading is the world. The person in focus sees you as the Eight of Cups. You see yourself as the Hangman. What you need to know is the King of Swords in reverse, and the final outcome is Justice in reverse. There was trickery. I think this relationship is over, and since then you've been kind of complacent. Maybe you felt rejected by this person or they rejected you. Someone in the situation did feel like the victim. Notice the dragon here in the card of trickery. So maybe you felt like the victim in this situation. Maybe this person thought they were a victim, but there was trickery. And I think it's a relationship that you've had a hard time getting past because it's COVID and we can't go out and date. We can't meet new people. Life has been kind of stale and boring at times. So the world has come out. So this is a relationship that has ended. But for me, the world is often the World Wide Web. And I think it might be because what clarified it is the Page of Wands in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Swords. So maybe today, as I channeled this reading, someone was feeling a little bored and frustrated. Page of Wands. I'm bored. I'm frustrated. Six of Swords. Let's circle back around to something that we feel like we still kind of have some unfinished business with. Page of Swords. I'm a little curious. The first thing I heard was someone's checking out their ex on the internet, on Facebook or IG or something. We all do this from time to time. I see a little curious person that's bored one day after the ending. The relationship has ended, or you're wondering what's going on when the next cycle will start. You've circled back around and you're doing a little bit of creeping. Maybe they are. If you're not, maybe they are. Maybe they've circled back around and they're looking at you on the web. It could be in reverse. But don't tell me you haven't creeped on your ex out of curiosity and boredom. Everybody does. There's nothing wrong with it. I think you've circled back around. Something triggered you based on the oracle cards. But this person sees you as the Eight of Cups, that you're like, bye. This is something they believe you've walked away from. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Three of Cups in reverse, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. So they see you as refusing to do a third party situation, like three's a crowd. They also think that you don't want to have a homecoming or renewal with them, or, you know, the Three of Cups can be a celebratory card of let's get together, let's be friends, let's collaborate, let's celebrate. They don't think you want to do that. You might have really cut this person off and decided, I'm a good catch. This is how they see you, that you walked away because you know that you're a good catch. You might be very focused on career now. You might look really good. You may also have, you know, this person might have seen that you walked away because they were very focused on themselves. But I think that they think that you just kind of cut them off, and they think you're doing really well right now, I think. But you see yourself as the Hanged Man. So I've been talking about this a lot lately. The Hanged Man has been coming out, and it does not matter what zodiac sign I read for on YouTube. It does not matter in my personal readings. I feel like this year, you guys, is like the great year of radical acceptance, where the Hanged Man, it's Pisces energy here. So I might be picking up on Pisces, where you surrender and you let go to things that you have no control over, and you acknowledge any situations that you've put yourself in that have made you uncomfortable, but you see it for what it really is. The Hanged Man is where we surrender and let go, and we pause so that we can have a moment of enlightenment. And I was like, okay, what's their enlightenment? This blew my mind. The Tower, Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil in reverse. So I think that you see yourself as the Hanged Man because you have a sudden realization that there is no building or learning or growing with this person. This card also suggests a third party interference or a triangulation. That doesn't mean that it's a third person. It could be work triangulating into the relationship, childhood wounds, emotional unavailability, our baggage. And because of that, I think you have this sudden realization, or you did, and it really helped you to face your own demons and shadow side. The Devil in reverse is where we face and see and acknowledge our own shadow side, our own desires, our own addictions, our own obsessions, our own insecurities. These three cards alone are definitely a spiritual lesson, and they really impress me. It's like you saw and you see, like kaboom. It's a sudden chaotic realization that, oh my God, I can't build in this situation. I cannot cooperate. I cannot collaborate. I cannot implement anything I can learn here. There is an apathy. There is disharmony. There's a lacking in commitment. And I see that it's not taking me to a place of happiness. It's taking me into my shadow side. And the Devil's in reverse, so you're facing it and you're seeing it. I was like, wow, that's a lot. It's humbling. It can be the Tower is overwhelming. Look, they're falling out. It's not good. Nobody's dressed. They weren't ready for this. I see this sudden spiritual awakening for you. It's a lot of impartiality at this point. And I was like, okay, someone circled back around. So this is either them circling back around and spying on you a little bit, or you with them. Honestly, I think this was you. I was like, tell me what my collective is doing. It's you. You've circled back around. Maybe you're home. You're bored this afternoon. It's Sunday here on the East Coast of the U.S. So I think some of you are like, nah, Netflix, scoping stuff out on Facebook or whatever, and you see something. So that's how they see you. This is how you see the situation. This is what you need to know, I think, about this person. They're showing up as the King of Swords in reverse. They could be a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, but they do not have to be that sign. This is a person who has some anger issues, possibly. This is a person who maybe has some unusually high standards. They don't like it when they don't get to define the truth. They think they're the smartest person in the room, but they're not. Whenever I see the King of Swords in reverse, I see an angry person, possibly a manipulative person. If it's none of those things, this person just might not have been the sharpest tack in the box at the time. No real good strategy. I was like, why is the King of Swords here? I did a lot of clarifying. I got the Moon, the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Cups in reverse. I wanted one more on this Queen of Cups, and I got the High Priestess in reverse. And I wanted to know what the Moon was, and I got the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Lovers. So I'm hearing a couple things off of this. First of all, this might be a guy who chases karmic feminines, because the Queen of Cups in reverse is an emotionally unstable woman or a codependent woman, not emotionally intelligent. The High Priestess in reverse can be a woman that we insatiably chase, and she eludes us. She can even be promiscuous, not always, but often. So, and the Moon is illusion and mystical, and yeah, but it's not clarity. It's the opposite of clarity. This is a very emotional man that thinks he has feelings for an emotionally messed up, kind of promiscuous woman maybe, and he totally over-romanticized it too, and he wanted to sleep with her. So this is a person who believed, I think this guy went off and chased a karmic, they call it karmic feminine, or this guy, if it's a man, doesn't make smart choices in women. He over-romanticizes it and is living in an illusion and is unrealistic. And he thinks that he has this amazing connection with a woman who is low in emotional intelligence and might even have emotional problems, and who makes him chase her and eludes him. Yeah, that's not smart. That's not smart. It's also possible, you guys, that you yourself might have been codependent and did not listen to your intuition, and you over-romanticized this relationship. But I know you know it now. I know you do, based on your further actions and the Hangman and the Tower and the Devil in reverse. You know it. If you did that with them, I think you know that now. And the world can also be life review and thinking about what you've learned. The Page of Swords is curious and wants to learn. If you want to know what you learned, you might have learned that over-romanticizing a vague, unstable relationship, maybe you learned a major lesson from that. It's also possible for my masculines that you're dealing with a woman who has issues and you have no idea how to come up with a good strategy, and it's pissed you off. Because I have men that watch these readings. We have wonderful brothers and masculines in this reading. This has gotten you out of your King of Swords energy. You might not have made the best choices with this person, this man or this woman. And it's thrown you out of your feminine and masculine energy. But the first thing I heard was, this is a guy that makes terrible choices in women and thinks that it's love. This is over-romanticized illusion based on one face-to-face drink and hot sex with a messed up karmic chick that has way more lessons herself to learn. We know nothing about this woman. She could be a lovely person, but this is what she did to him. This is what happened between the two of you when you were together, possibly. I think this is the third person involved, because they see you. This person sees you as the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, defining the truth, and you see yourself as the Hangman. I think this Queen of Cups is someone else or who you were in the past. Final outcome is Justice in reverse. So someone is avoidant of karmic justice, avoidant of the lesson, but Justice in reverse is where we can't play the blame game. We have to accept and honor the truth, and we really see clearly. The Hangman sees it pretty clearly. Like all the blood has rushed to his head. His ears ring. He sees the Devil. He sees the Tower. He sees the truth that there was imbalance, and it's a lesson in independence as well. But I think this person avoids their own justice. But the justice is still served because I clarified justice in reverse and I got justice in the upright, the Eight of Cups, the Sun. I think this is you guys. I think you got the lesson and you're walking away into clarity. The sun can be happiness and warmth and vitality, but even if it doesn't feel good, it's the cold, hard light of day. Justice really, you might not feel like justice was served in this relationship, but your guides are saying you did get the lesson. You got the lesson. And if you didn't, here's your sign. Here's your clue. Here's who you were in that relationship when you do the life review. Here's who this person is now and why they didn't pick you. They want to chase some slut that they can't catch. They might have been intimidated by your Nine of Pentacles. And this little Page of Swords is looking at the Nine of Pentacles like, oh my God, I don't know. They might be checking in on you. But you've gotten the lesson here. You really have. So this person, further actions of this person, the Moon, the Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, Temperance in reverse, Six of Wands. Okay, let me tell you about this person. They're still living in an illusion. They have a lot of untapped hidden potential. They are a very emotional person, but the Moon is often repressed emotions that we have a very difficult time facing. This person is not happy or getting what they need. This person does not have great boundaries and they're overwhelmed. This person has clouded judgment. They can't have breakthroughs. They can't be smart about this. This person's angel is right here with them with Temperance. They could have Sag in their chart, Pisces in the chart. They ignore their angel. They run hot and cold. They have excessiveness, issues with excess. They cannot be calm and patient and bring things into balance. They ignore their angel. The Ace of Swords in reverse to Temperance is, I'm ignoring God right now. That is our prerogative. We do not have to listen to guidance, and this person isn't, and as a result, they struggle, and they kind of live in an illusion. They probably don't even really know why they feel left out in the cold, and yet they have an ego, and they act like everything is fine. So you need to know, if this is who this person was before, this is how they still are. And if this is who you were with them, or how this chick is being with you, see how it's getting you out of your strong king energy, and that they're just going to ignore this, and they're going to continue to confuse the shit out of you. I think this is all past for you because of the World and the Sun and the Hangman and the Tower. Here's where you're going. Here's where my collective's going. Ten of Swords in reverse. So I think it triggered you and it reminded you of the wound, but you've healed from it. Six of Cups in reverse. I think that you are lacking in a playfulness with this person. I think you have bittersweet memories with them. Perhaps a part of you would like to forgive them or have some kind of forgiveness. It is a little haunting. And I see you taking your rest from it with the Four of Swords. I think this is kind of dead and buried. I think you're just going to sleep it off. But the three cards that came out after almost made me choke with pride. The Wheel, the Hierophant, the Hermit. There's that wisdom and that mysticism right there. The Wheel of Fortune was, this was karma, this was fate, this was part of your destiny, and you're at this turning point. Luck is on your side now. The Hierophant is spiritual wisdom and knowledge. So much so. Spiritual wisdom and knowledge. And the Hermit is wise. Older, wiser. This relationship helped you grow the hell up to a degree. Not that you weren't before. It might have put some gray hairs on your head. But this is one of those lessons that you will carry with you. It was important for you to go through this. Look where it's taken you, to wisdom, to knowledge. And part of your karma and your destiny that was necessary. I see that I have the Queen of Cups in the upright at the bottom of the deck. She's moving on to calmer waters and, starting new things. starting new things. This is great. This has given you emotional maturity. There are reversals in this deck. This has given you emotional maturity. Things might be moving slowly for you guys right now. That's because the world is moving slowly. Universally, collectively, we're in a place of transition. But you are ready to move towards new cycles in your life with a lot of emotional maturity and wisdom. I love that. It's hard to be the Queen of Cups. I don't know how water signs do it. I just lead with my sword all the time. With the Page of Pentacles here, oh yeah, the Page of Pentacles to the Hermit. Wow. This was definitely a spiritual lesson. This was an important little lesson for you to learn, which brings me back towards Anna. This is such an interesting card. In the story of Jesus in the Christian Bible, which for some of us is religion and we believe it literally, and for others it's just a story. Regardless of what you believe, it's a great story. Anna has this very small role. She is not talked about very much in the New Testament and in the story, but she was seeding the light and laying a foundation and an integral, important part of the divine plan. As small as her role was in the story, she was necessary and part of the foundation that the story is built upon. So what I think this means, and the reason I think it came out for the reading, is that your guides want you to know, was this relationship significant in and of itself when it happened? Maybe not. But in the grander scheme of things, it was part of a foundation and a divine plan that has led you to and will continue to lead you to knowledge and wisdom, and a spiritual wisdom. It was necessary. As in the Anna card suggests that there might have been an insignificance to it here on an earth level, but on a spiritual level, it was actually part of your spiritual wisdom and knowledge. There was something kind of mystical about it. Perhaps this relationship brought you to tarot, brought you to a spiritual path, brought you to yourself and your guides and a connection to the universe. And it's taught you to be impartial. Be impartial with this person. If they cannot get into their, into the energy of temperance, you can. And they can get up on their high horse and be arrogant all they want. I think we see here very clearly that this person, by living in an illusion, has gotten them nothing but left out in the cold. And that's what happens when we chase these chicks that are broken, when you're the Nine of Pentacles. And that's what happens to us when we behave codependently and we live in an illusion and we over-romanticize and we don't listen to our own emotional intelligence and intuition. If you felt like you behaved that way in this relationship and you're doing life review about it, guess what? You got the lesson. You got the lesson. It helped you see your own shadow side. It helped you see it. And now justice is served. Just keep walking away towards your wisdom and your knowledge, because you're now moving into total clarity and the sun, which I love. All right, you guys, that's your collective reading. It was kind of amazing. I hope that it resonates for a lot of you, and I hope that it helps you. I hope you guys like the readings I did for this week. I thought a lot of them were really, really good, and I love doing the collective messages for you too. I'm always listening to the universe for you, my awesome Soma Chandra Tarot and Soma Chandra Libra collective. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.